Hello and welcome to Classic Motorsport Podcast. I'm Gálvez Thomas and today we're doing a top 10 again. This time tracks Formula 1 should go to. So to make it eligible, it's tracks that haven't been on the calendar in the last 5 years or venues that are new and haven't been used for Formula 1 yet. So starting off the list is Motorland Aragon, Spain. So Motorland Aragon, first built in 2009, MotoGP went there in 2010 and is a FIA Grade 1 circuit, which is the main thing, and basically has been hosting MotoGP since 2010 and ruled superbikes since 2011. There's been car races at Aragon, but there's been no Formula 1 races. It does have an FIA Grade 1 licence, which makes it easy for it to host a Formula 1 race. Although it does have an FIM Grade 1 licence for motorbikes, it means it's quite good to host. I think at some point in the future they might need to alternate with Circuit de Catalunya to make it fair for the fans. Number 9 is Phillip Island, Australia. Currently, Phillip Island has a Grade 3 licence for FIA, although it has a Grade 1 FIM licence for motorbikes. But Phillip Island is best known for its slipstream races for the motorcycles, and we might expect them in 2022. So, obviously, it's known for its slipstreamers. Obviously the last Superbike race there in 2020 was one of the best, and it's known for really good racing. If Formula 1 goes there, we expect a very good dogfight. Number 8 on the list is also a very interesting choice. It's a track that Formula 1 has not been to since 1978. Anderstorp Raceway in Sweden. The track features an old airfield as part of the track, which basically sometimes planes do occasionally land, like there was in 1974. The last F1 race there was 1978. It was scheduled to have run in 1979, but was cancelled after the promoters felt it would be too much for Formula 1 after the deaths of Ronnie Peterson and Gunnar Nielsen, so they decided to cancel it. But it did host MotoGP from 1971 to 1977 and from 1981 to 1990, and Superbikes in 1991 and 1993. Grade 2 licence for FIA. Don't know about the FIM licence because I'm not a licence expert for motorbikes. But the one thing that I will say is that it's a very unique layout, high speed, and would be worth everyone's basically like to see. And number 7 on the list is a brand new track that meets both FIA and FIM Grade 1 licence, the Kymi Ring in Finland. And basically it was first tested in 2019 for bikes, was scheduled to race in 2020 and 2021, but was cancelled as the Finns wanted a full house capacity for their return to motorcycle racing. The layout does look good, and I think it's good for Formula 1 to go down to Finland. Obviously it's the home country of the now retired Kymi Räikkönen and current Alpha driver Valtteri Bottas, and expect it to be quite interesting to see when MotoGP goes there. We know that that's the only big series that we do know is going there. Another series that does deserve apologies for the noise behind me because there's a neighbour putting on their bike, but another series that does deserve to of an F1 race circuit is Road America in Wisconsin in the United States. Although it holds an FIA Grade 2 license, it does have very good elevation and perhaps one of the best road courses in the United States. It has lots of great attendance for its IndyCar races, very good when it comes to late race drama, and I think that'd be worth something everyone would like to see. And basically it'd be worth to watch, especially for guys in the United States. Now for number 5, I've gone for Circuit de la Sarthe. And obviously Formula 1 hasn't been to the de la Sarthe since 1967, when they used the Bugatti circuit for the 67 French Grand Prix. One thing I would say is that if Formula 1 was to return to Le Mans, then I think they should use the full 24-hour circuit, because they never used it in 1967. I think it would have been worth watching, because I think the only reason why it failed is because 20,000 fans would rather have would have rather watched a film than watch cars race on a small Bugatti version of the Le Mans circuit. And I have to say it was quite a boring show to say from watching coverage back then in 67, because we do have online YouTube now to look at the old footage and see whether it was born or not, and I have to say it was born in 67, but if they did bring it back, then use the full 24-hour circuit, which would pretty much make it packed. Number 4 on the list is a new circuit, Mandalika International Street Circuit in Indonesia. Obviously Mandalika is known for hosting perhaps the most interesting of final races of the 2021 World Superbike season, and will host the 2022 MotoGP season as the second race of the season, with a quite interesting layout. It's got views that take it right towards the sea. It's basically quite a circuit to drive, but when the weather is bad, it chucks it down badly. That's why when the Saturday and Sunday afternoons of the 2 Superbike races were cancelled and postponed respectively, it was quite boring to watch with the rain bucketing it down. If Formula 1 went there, I think it'd be worth a watch. And number 3 on the list is the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit in South Africa. Although it holds a Grade 2 licence, like the Circuit de la Sarthe, Kyalami is quite a unique circuit. However, they have not been on a calendar since 1993 due to financial issues, and had previously been off the calendar in the mid-80s and early from 1986 to 1991, during that time when Formula 1 was not there because of apartheid. But now that South Africa is back to normal, obviously with fair play, like most of the Western countries, expect Formula 1 race there like we had in 92 and 93. But the one thing that I would say to improve the layout is potentially have a few bank corners like we have at Zandvoort, and to make it much more exciting. Should Formula 1 go there, expect a lackluster race like we have at Zandvoort. Number 2 on the list is the Autódromo 1 Oscar Gálvez circuit in Argentina. obviously it's hosted the Argentine Grand Prix for cars between 1953 and 1998, and the bikes as well, until 1999, before they moved to the real Honda track in 2014. But the one thing I will say is that when the cars and the bikes did their visit in the 90s, it was on the short but slower version. But if they were to come back, they used a combination of the old fast part of the course, which Formula 1 used until 1981, and the slow bit of the circuit as well, but maybe add one or two bank corners as well, just to keep the excitement up. Could Formula 1 do well? I don't know. But anything's possible in Formula 1, and usually does. Number one on the list is, once again, United States, Watkins Glen. I think it holds I haven't checked the license for Watkins Glen, but obviously Watkins Glen currently hosts NASCAR races. It used to host IndyCar races and FIA Grade 2 licenses. I just checked on the internet. It hosted Formula 1 between 1961 and 1980, but was dropped after the circuit went bankrupt. It's mostly successful for NASCAR races, obviously, which there is quite a lot of alcohol, beer guzzling V8s, and expect quite a lot of drama at a track like Watkins Glen. The only disappointment in NASCAR at the Glen is that they don't use the full circuit, and I think if they did, there'd be a lot more drama. But Formula 1, it was picturesque. There'd be lots of alcohol, which they did have in the 70s and 80s, and lots of mud events, which they had back then. That's my top 10 pick. What is your top 10 pick? Remember, for those that are listening to me on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and Amazon Music, remember, like, share, subscribe for more great content, and the same for YouTube and Dailymotion, and also for my followers on Instagram and Twitter. Like, share and subscribe for more content. I'm Gareth Thomas. Thank you for watching or listening. Goodbye.